right here. Nobody who needs to be in here is going to go there. So
True.
it's not even just with the youth. We have so much work that we need to do, and it starts with accountability. Every time a black person do something, we start blaming on what happened 400 years ago. It was 400 years ago when I was 10. We got to be like 800 years ago now at this point. Like, how are we going to move forward if we are so stuck on blaming all of our shortcomings on people that came before us? So I feel like we all need to take accountability. They took God out of everything. You can't talk about God at work. You can't talk about God at school. You can't talk about God with some of your friends, some of your siblings. That's what's missing. We missing God, and we also missing consistency. I think everybody has the potential to be whoever they want to be, whether that be a good person or an asshole.
Yeah.
But
Facts.
who's going to do it all the time?
Yeah.
Some people do it on Christmas. Everybody passing out food on Thanksgiving. But what about the day after Thanksgiving? What about the kids that need you after they graduate? Who's going to take that time? So we have to really make commitments to people outside of ourselves. That's change. Everybody's selfish. If you look at Chicago, ain't no random people in Chicago. Everybody in Chicago is celebrity. Everybody's somebody. Nobody normal no more. I'm normal, contrary to what people may believe. I'm very normal, and I implore people to try to be as normal as you can, because when you pose a threat, you don't just make yourself a target, but you make people stay away from you when they don't feel like they can talk to you. And I feel like we miss out on a lot because we intimidated.
Facts.
So it's not that you don't have to walk in your power, but don't let your light be so bright that it only stays yours. Like, other people need to be able to shine with you, but we too afraid to ask for help. Because asking for help makes me feel like you won't steal my idea.
Right.
You only gonna give me enough advice so I don't go past you.
Right.
And if I do go past you, you're gonna be the same person to bring me down. So we are so scared. So if we really made some changes, we would really have to figure out what could stop us from being scared as a coach. We scared of each other.
Yeah.
But when we get in front of the white people, we tighten up, we got a nice shirt on. No. If you can fake it for them, fake it for us too.
Facts.
Fake it with me. Fake it with the friends. Fake it with the kids. If you can fake it for that white man, if you can fake it with folks and them act like you got some money on Friday and then you don't got the rent on Monday, fake it with me on Monday too. That's what I'm saying. So if you can't figure out how to do it right, at least fake it for your people. Fake it until it feels so fucking good you start doing it for real. I'm sorry.
So you pour into a lot of people all the time, right? So what are the things that you do for your own mental wellness?
So this ain't about me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This balance that everybody talk about, I have yet to experience it. The closest thing I got to remaining sane is probably praying and just not doing nothing. My form of self-care is telling you know and I feel. I keep picking on you because you right in front of me, I'm sorry. But self-care for me ain't going to get my hand nails done. I'm a woman. I'm supposed to have this stuff done, right? I mean, don't look at my feet right now, but I said, don't look at them. But for me, my self-care is being able to say no and not feel bad about it. Sitting in the house and not feeling like, oh man, I need to be over there. I gotta go do this. If I don't go do this, then I'm gonna support the friends. If I don't come over here, they're gonna be mad at me. I'm not gonna be a good friend. I'm not gonna be a good auntie. Sometimes you just gotta say, you know what? I ain't got it. I can't do it, and I'm not. And even if you got it, don't even try to figure it out to give yourself. That's what I'm doing. Me shutting down has caused a lot of strife in my life. People think I'm acting funny. When really, I'm just trying to find myself again outside of helping people.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can get so engulfed up into our business, into our world, that we forget ourselves. And now I'm in the hospital. I have heart surgery. I don't collapse in their events because I'm dehydrated. I didn't eat, but I didn't drink nothing. Ain't nobody following up behind me like, Barbie, drink some water. No, that's my responsibility. I can't be out here talking about I love you and I treat myself bad. So right now, one thing that I'm doing to balance out is really just saying no to people. Like, when things get too heavy for me, I just tell myself, I got God's strength, so nothing too heavy for me. If I can't do it, I'm gonna figure out who can. And I can't do that no more. Right now, it's like, I'm trying to figure out how to work smarter, how to build with people who have similar hearts,
Yeah.
and let the machine work, because it's a machine. It's just not one person that runs the machine, it's all of us. So learning how to delegate and just saying no is one thing that I do, self-care.
That to me sounds like harmony, because it's capacity, right? I do the same exact thing. Like, just because you call me, don't mean I'm gonna answer. You know what I mean? I might not have capacity right now, right? And that's knowing when to flow, because people always talk about time is money, but time is a relationship, right? Time is understanding in what cycles that you should be active and what cycles you should rest, right? Because we were taught to work 5 days a week, but that's not always been our ancestral practice, and we always go back to slavery, hard work, labor intense. But no, like you go to, I think it's Nigeria or Ethiopia, one of them got a 4-day work week. You understand me? Because they understand community and spirituality and rest, right? It's also a part of it that money is not everything. So, especially when we dealing today, a lot of things that we think are mental health issues, like my sister, the therapist, Raquel talks about, is a mental capacity problem. You know what I mean? You're dealing with things you don't have capacity for at the moment. And so now you're out of sync, similar to when you don't get enough sleep. It's gonna take you a day or two to try to catch up with rest now. You know what I mean? So every day that you're out of sync, you now have to sacrifice another day just to try to catch up with yourself.
Okay.
So that's why it's important. And so I just think that for the Black community, regardless of what's going on, I think self-care is the most important thing, because you can't help others if you can't help yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if I look at, like, if I give me rest for, if we was running a race, and I'm running past everybody, right? And what would be the reason I would stop? Right? This is America. I would stop because I feel like if I rest, even if you overlap me 4 times, if I get proper rest, I'm gonna overlap you 8 times. You know what I mean? Because my days of productivity is going to be skyrocketing. Where most people's days are like this. It's at a normal pace. It's at a normal baseline. They don't even know what it's like to feel like this again. Most people only felt this way since they was a child. You know what I mean? Their body ain't been seen in a while. They just used to their energy levels and their stress levels and their life being right here. You feel me? So it seems kind of productive, especially as a person who cares about others, right? But the best thing that you can do is to take care of yourself, because you can do way more for others when you feel good, right? I don't need to show up for you every day. I just need to show up for you on the days I have capacity for.
And I think that, just to piggyback off of that, and I'm gonna let somebody else come up here. I think that what you said is so valuable, and I think that we overlook our energy just because we have a good heart a lot of times. We'll see somebody in our family or one of our close friends struggling, and even though we fight depression ourselves, or we had the worst day, and we wish they didn't text us, but because they did, we forget everything that's going on with us, dive right into whatever it's gonna take to fix them. And now, the energy you didn't have already, now you really ain't got none. So now when you get around your kids and they in play mode, they wanna go do this and that, you tell them, go to your room. Like, bro, leave them alone. Like, go watch TV. Go play on your laptop. Go outside. And then now you feeling bad that you don't got time for your kids. So it's like, it took me a long time to get to the place where I was just like, bro, if I don't take care of myself, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm literally 35 years old and I already had heart surgery and that shit. And I'm not saying like I just live the cleanest life, but I need to be taking better care of myself. So what you said is so valuable. Like, I've been doing so much better since I've been saying no, honestly. Not saying that the community been killing me, but I wear a lot of hats. I love all the hats that I wear, but putting myself maybe second. Putting myself second, probably like fourth. But I haven't had no heart monitor on this year. All last year I had nothing on my This year I have nothing on my monitor. God is so good. I hope I don't have one. But yes, self-care is everything. I'll let somebody else go because I'll talk all day.
Put your hands together, give another round of applause, please. Let's take a few more. I see my sister over here, my brother over here, my sister over here, my brother over here, all right? So y'all can even line up and come up to the front, and we'll keep this going. And then, once again, we do have Supermind samples for you available, and feel free to also get you some coffee, some food, whatever it may be. Definitely want you all to mingle. After these last questions, we'll have more opportunity for some photos and some more intimate networking and go from there.
How y'all doing? I'm Erin. I'm a business coach and consultant. And I think that it's probably been stated, but just to be more specific, I think self-awareness is the top That way, if you have self-awareness, you can make sure you are doing your self-care, you can make sure you are staying in tune to pick up your mushroom coffee or your supermarket coffee. You know when to take a break, you know when to say no, you know how to reach out to others. But if you don't have self-awareness, if you're not in tune with self in that way, by knowing who you are, how you want to be, what you like, what you don't like, then a lot of the things cannot occur as far as self-care or growing or any of the things. It can take you the longest time ever as far as years on earth if you are not self-aware before anything else. So that's just quick, sweet, to the point.
What do you do to take care of yourself? What do you do for your wellness routine?
So I do a lot of things that are in the mushroom coffee. I definitely do mushroom coffee for sure. Can't wait to taste yours. I'm not all for the taste of things, more for the fact that you just need it.
This tastes good, and
Good, I'm excited about that.
you gotta sacrifice that with the
Right.
eyes and blood water.
Yeah.
We just throw them out.
Yeah, so I do a lot of that. Because I am self-aware, I know when I need my herbs. I know when I'm overstimulated. I know when I'm annoyed. I know I get irritated quickly, so I know when to take whatever it is that I need to calm my mind, to gain peace quickly, because sometimes you are not in the state of mind to be able to calm down. Sometimes you are eager or anxious and you have to be in that place. So I know how to quickly turn that around because of self-awareness, because of working on that for years. So I said the quickest way to grow and to get anywhere is to be self-aware first. And then you'll be able to make decisions and make better decisions for yourself and the world and grow and for other people as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, I think it's the line over there.
I got a question. You in line?
That's why I was trying to make sure.
Hey guys, my name is Danae. I'm really excited to be here. I just came from Rainbow Push.
Okay. Okay. Shout out to Mama Jackson.
Stuff that's going on there. First things first is that I want to invite everyone to come out to Rainbow Push. If you have questions about it, please come out and reach out to me. I don't live here. I live 2 hours away. I come out here outside to find community because I could not find it in the suburbs. 2 years ago, I was given 6 months to live, and I decided to take out all of my money, sell my house, and I wanted to always be a philanthropist. So that's what I did. I gave away all my money, and I ate, lived, breathed service work. Sometimes I would volunteer 3 to 4 times a day. I started reversing my symptoms. They told me I had a brain tumor. They told me that my kidneys were failing, and at the end, I had to pretty much decide if I wanted to do chemo or if I wanted to go on dialysis. And I took myself out, and I decided to do my own framework, and it consisted of redefining what self-care meant for me. And you know, that's a concept that not everyone understands. What worked for me a week ago might not work for me today. Right? I might be going through some different stress. I might not already be in homeostasis, which is where you can actually adapt to things and grow and evolve. If we're in halitosis, our actual cells, they mutate, and they will continue to mutate until you get back into homeostasis, and you're not going to be able to do anything, right? So like, you can't find your shoe and your day is going to go to crap because you can't deal with anything, and that's where we're at right now in America. So what I do is that I try to find the gaps of where I can help find conscious plant medicine people to mental health initiatives. I feel that a lot of people are using plant medication in the wrong way, and that's where I come in and try to help them to get more into mental health initiatives. But I really do have a question. Coming back, I feel like I died, for sure. I feel like I came back to life, and now I have all of these skills. Never had them before. Never. In like quantum neurobiology, neuroplasticity, political sciences, literally never. Ever, ever, ever. I created a bunch of apps. I created a bunch of things. And I think it's my ancestors. I know it's my ancestors. And I want to ask you, how do you live intentionally knowing that our ancestors did not deal with social media, right? They lived in a point in life where that wasn't a thing. How do we walk intentionally? How do we honor our ancestors with social media and the way that it is? Like, how do you do it?
I mean, see how I do it.
Yes, sir.
It's not about the tool, it's how you use it. You know what I mean? A hammer is nothing if you don't use it to build something. You understand me? Same thing with a gun, right? It can be used to kill, it can be used to protect, it can be used to warn. You understand me? It can be used to hunt, to go get food for the family, right? Each tool is dependent upon the mind that uses it, right? The problem today is that our minds are being weakened by the tool itself, so it's weakening our ability to use it, and we're becoming dependent on it because the internet, when we first got on it, we would interface with it. Now the internet is interfacing with us, right? So now it's alive. Now it can talk to your child. Now it can talk to you. Now there's an AI bot that can influence you, right? So it's a completely different game now that the internet has consciousness, if you will. And not consciousness in the same way that we have it, but it's a complexity to the internet that makes it conscious. There's a rhythm, there's speeds, right? There's people with intentions and agendas and psyops, right? And cognitive warfare, narrative warfare, every single day that's being played out. And so the thing about the internet today, because when you speak on it, you got to speak about it today, right? Ever since Cambridge Analytica, where they ran a test on how to control people, utilizing its algorithms and taking this data, the internet changed forever after that. You understand me? Nothing was organic ever again. So it's like when you see warfare on the internet, that's somebody trying to control how you think or what you think. Every time you go on the post, somebody trying to control what you think or how you think. Meaning they're trying to get you on their side or the other. The way you think about this war, the way you think about this politics. You understand me? Whether it's Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, doesn't matter. Everybody is running a psyop. And human beings are getting better at controlling each other, right? So that goes into marketing, it goes into world building. So you really just, same way our ancestors dealt with any threat. You understand me? They built community, right? They built reinforced structures and systems to counteract whatever threat. They learned those systems. There was always, I think history is just told in a very victimized manner. There was always black men that had money, and there's always black women that had money throughout time, right? We don't tell their stories. All of these systems reinforce each other. When you find somebody that has a high level culture, it's because all of these complex things are working together. And culture is consciousness in motion. So you can grade an individual's consciousness. They create dossiers and profiles on individuals to see how you think, right? What is your pattern, where you're going. You can easily do that for the culture, right? You can look at our music and we can look at the amount of words we use, right? We got some very intelligent, powerful people in here that know about AI technology and Bitcoins. You know what I'm talking about? Now, if we look at from the early 2000s upon the way the algorithm of black people talking about cryptocurrency, they can tell where things are going to go, right? They can say, okay, the only people that are talking about it are most likely black men that are on the fringe of society. Those who are nihilistic and don't believe in, right, the system, because the system never worked for us. So that means that we are usually the most rebellious, so we catch on to things faster because we have to, right? We looking for alternative sources and alternative systems. So we grab the crypto, we grab the Bitcoin. Then they publish media that say that Bitcoin and crypto is going to ruin the black community. You understand me? And say that you gambling. Now a lot of people, they shake up the tree, right? It's Messiah. They get you to sell it because they know they have a plan in some years to where Bitcoin going to hit 110,000. And they don't want you holding it. You understand me? So now they utilizing your own black media against you, your own people against you, making you feel stupid. They calling it a scam and everything else that they can possibly do. How do you keep your original thought and your intuition when you know it was aligned with the right move?
Right.
That's where you're getting to today, right? Trusting yourself at a level to where your mental firewall is high. Don't believe nothing on the internet. When I say nothing on the internet that you have not researched thoroughly, but then you need to learn how to research thoroughly.
That's what I was going to say.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all got ChatGPT, don't ask me. You know what I'm saying? Find 4 to 5 credible sources. Research is in the word. Research. You search once, then search again, then search again. Right? There's a framework for that, but I'm not about to give the scholar version of it because I might butcher it. But you know what I mean? Essentially, you have a framework for which you search things for you can validate whether they're trustworthy or not. The problem is time. We don't have time. That's why we believe what comes on our timeline. Because we want somebody else to feed us. Because we don't feel like cooking for ourselves. You understand me? That's literally where we get fast food. That's where we get microwavable food. That's what destroyed our health. And it's what destroying our mental health because we don't want to think for ourselves. Because critical thinking takes too much time. So you telling me I need to read this whole article? Right? They now start putting the minutes it takes to read an article on your phone. It takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I'd rather just read a meme. And now they got something called memetic warfare. So they know that people don't read. And they know that your attention span is so slow so that they're giving you images like they did when people literacy was low back in the early 19 and 1800s. White people couldn't read, so they just put out propaganda, show big black man, small white woman. You understand me? Because they understood that if they tried to give them too complex ideas, they didn't have time or they didn't have the literacy to understand. Our literacy rates are decreasing, right? Human beings are not taking in information with full thought and full capacity. So therefore, they're just throwing memes out there, right? And you don't realize the meme is getting past your